If you're a creator or a marketer, or really anyone trying to build a business online right now, you know that feeling.
Oh, yeah. Total overwhelm.
Especially if you're in this exploding space of, AI content, prompt engineering, maybe even digital modeling. The research phase alone is just crushing.
It's not just the pace, it's the sheer volume. Trends change. Platform policies change overnight. If you're trying to build, say, a consistent AI model brand, you're juggling character lore, monetization, and then you also have to keep up with the latest diffusion models and SEO. It's a nightmare.
Exactly. You end up spending way more time fact-checking and just trying to pull data together than you do actually creating. And that's a massive roadblock if you're trying to scale.
Huge.
Which is why we're dedicating this entire deep dive to a tool that digital experts are starting to call a clarity machine.
I love that name for it.
We're talking about Perplexity AI, and specifically the Pro version.
Yeah.
You need to forget the simple chatbots you might be used to.
Yeah, this is a different category.
Think of Perplexity as this ultimate hybrid. It's got the real-time information power of Google, but it's blended with the intelligence of an advanced AI like GPT-4.
So our mission today is really laser-focused. It's for you, the listener, who needs to accelerate your strategy. Whether you're running a business already or you're planning to launch, say, an AI model agency or some other content enterprise.
We're going to break down the 5 key ways this single tool can speed up every single stage of that journey.
From lightning-fast market research all the way to prompt engineering and, crucially, workflow automation.
And our analysis here isn't just, from their marketing site. We're pulling insights directly from creator communities, from digital marketers, people who actually rely on this tool to get a competitive edge.
And the consensus is pretty clear. The big value isn't just speed, it's credibility.
Credibility, that's the word. It delivers cited, current information. And by doing that, it transforms what used to be weeks of painful manual research into just a few hours of actionable, defendable strategy.
Right. And the big picture here is transparency and efficiency, especially in the age of AI. We all know the risk of hallucination from these generative tools is high.
Very high.
Perplexity sort of acts as your strategic safeguard. It removes the noise, it hands you the receipts, the actual link citations, and it serves up the foundational facts you need to build a business that your audience will actually trust.
It's the shortcut to being authoritative in your niche.
Exactly.
Okay, let's unpack this right away. Why is Perplexity a totally different animal compared to, say, the conversational models like ChatGPT that most of us are used to?
The fundamental difference is its core identity and its default way of working. Perplexity calls itself an answer engine.
An answer engine.
Which is strategically very different from a general LLM. So when you give it a query, it immediately defaults to something called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or AGA.
AGI. We hear that acronym a lot. It sounds super technical. So if I'm a creator trying to figure out the best aesthetic for my next AI model, what does ORAG actually mean for me?
It means the answer you get isn't just being made up from a static old data set that could be 18 months out of date.
Right.
It means it's actively using live web searches. Perplexity is basically indexing the web every single day, so the answer it gives you is grounded in current real-time data. And, crucially, it's cited.
So you get the receipts.
You always get the receipts. It's like being able to tell a witness, show me the evidence, and they do it instantly. For brand credibility, that's non-negotiable.
So just to be clear, if a major paper on the ethics of AI model training drops today, Perplexity can reference it immediately.
Immediately. Whereas a traditional LLM would probably miss it until its next big training update, which could be months away. Perplexity prioritizes that real, current, source-backed data.
And if we contrast that with something like ChatGPT?
Well, ChatGPT is a magnificent synthesis engine, don't get me wrong. But by default, it relies on its own stored knowledge. It can browse the web, but you usually have to tell it to.
And even then, it can sometimes be a little behind or, veer into those hallucinations we all want to avoid.
Exactly. Perplexity just flips that default.
Yeah.
Sourcing and accuracy come first, every time.
And that one step, that grounding, that has to be the key to moving faster, right? Especially for teams.
It is. Marketing teams are reporting these dramatic reductions in approval times. Fewer rewrites, faster sign-offs, all because those source citations travel with the first draft. The content is immediately defendable.
Wow.
Yeah, the time you save just in fact-checking and internal reviews can pay for the tool many times over. One developer put it perfectly. He said, Perplexity focuses on answers with sources.
And that's what legal and PR teams want to hear.
And your audience. especially a critical online audience. If you're building an AI model brand where authenticity is everything, you can't afford to base your character story on made-up facts.
Okay, let's get into the modes of operation. There's a quick search, but for our purposes, the pro search seems to be where the magic is.
ProSearch is the engine for strategic work, absolutely.
Hmm.
If you're asking a really complex, multi-layered question, something like, analyze the monetization strategies for digital models on Patreon versus FanView, including fees and audience data, and project the growth for the next 18 months.
Right, a quick search would just give you a basic summary of that.
Exactly. But ProSearch is much smarter about your intent. It'll decompose that big query to smaller subqueries.
It breaks it down for you.
It breaks it down. It'll ask, what are the fees? What are the growth rates? What's the social sentiment? And, this is key, it asks clarifying follow-up questions to really understand what you need.
So it helps you refine your own question.
It does. It ensures that the first answer you get is much closer to perfect, which saves you a ton of time rephrasing and trying again.
And that Pro Access, which is about $20 a month, that unlocks unlimited Pro searches. But it's more than just that, right? There are other benefits for a creator.
It's really a whole utility stack. First, you get access to all the latest, most powerful models, GPT-4o, Claude 3.5 Sonnet, Gemini, DeepSeek. You're basically running research across the best engines in the world, all in one place.
So you're comparison shopping models within one interface.
You are. And second, you get unlimited file uploads. The free version limits you to 5 Pro searches every 4 hours and just 3 file uploads a day.
Unlimited file uploads. That is huge for competitive intelligence.
Massive.
So a creator could upload a competitor's entire ebook on prompt engineering or a big industry report and just ask Perplexity to summarize the key points.
In minutes. Instead of you spending hours highlighting a PDF, imagine you get a 100-page market report on 3D avatars. You upload it, you ask it to extract the 3 biggest tech barriers and the main consumer pain points, and boom, instant strategy.
And it still gives you the citations, even from the document you uploaded.
Yes, it provides numbered hyperlink citations right there in the analysis. You always have the context behind the summary.
Okay, so let's say I've got Perplexity Pro, but I also have a subscription to ChatGPT Plus. How do I stack them? How do I use them together so it's not redundant?
This is the high-value strategy that the top digital strategists are using. You use Perplexity for the first part, the preliminary research, the analysis, the grounding insights.
So Perplexity is my fact checker, my blueprint machine.
Exactly. It locks in your facts, your sources, your market context. It builds the accurate, verified blueprint.
And then once that blueprint is built,
then you feed those verified findings, your notes, your outlines, into ChatGPT or another LLM for the voice, the cadence, the creative lift.
Okay. So one is for the what and the other is for the how.
You got it. ChatGPT is brilliant at adapting tone, writing conversational copy, generating scripts. So you ground the insights in Perplexity to guarantee accuracy. And then you port that over to a creative tool to scale your posts quickly. And you do it with confidence because you know the foundation is solid.
Perplexity for the defensible architecture, another LLM for the stylized presentation. That's a really clean division of labor.
It is. It minimizes your risk of error while maximizing your creative output. That's how the fastest scaling digital businesses are operating right now.
All right, let's move into that second phase. Building the business foundation. This is where acceleration is everything. And market research is always the biggest time sink.
It's the biggest barrier to entry for a solo creator or a small team.
Absolutely.
But this is where Perplexity Pro just transforms that time cost. We're talking about real-time insights from newsfeeds, scholarly papers, tech forums, even social media chatter.
So it removes that delay. If a competitor changes their pricing today, you know about it today.
And you can incorporate it into your strategy tomorrow. If a new aesthetic or character trope for AI models hits the web, you can assess its viability immediately.
Okay, give me a concrete example. How would a team use this for a competitive SWOT analysis?
Let's stick with the AI model agency example. You're about to launch a series of fantasy-themed models. Your biggest competitor just dropped a major update. Your team can upload their press releases, any articles written about their new tech, whatever you can find. Then you ask Perplexity to generate a comparative SWOT analysis against your own capabilities.
So it's not just a summary of them, it's a direct comparison to you.
Exactly. It's tactical intelligence. It'll instantly identify their tech advances. Maybe they solved a problem with realistic hair rendering, but it also, crucially, finds their content gaps.
So it tells you where to attack.
Precisely. It might reveal they're totally neglecting a platform like Tumblr, or that their character lore is weak on certain emotional themes. That's your opening. That's your launch strategy.
And what about just identifying trends? How does it help a creator figure out what kind of AI model personality is gaining traction right now?
It's brilliant at that because it scans those hard-to-index, fast-moving places. Niche forums, image tags on generative art sites, specific subreddits.
So it's finding the trend before it becomes a mainstream trend.
Exactly. A creator doing digital fashion models could use it to find rising styles in the cottagecore community, or what color palettes are trending on Pinterest for Gen Z. These are the details that give your modders visual impact. You can identify which character archetypes are getting high engagement before everyone else jumps on them.
The sources mentioned a specific feature for this, the social topic feature. It sounds like a way to get raw customer feedback.
It's critical because your strategy has to be built on what the audience actually wants, not what you think they want.
Right.
There was a cybersecurity firm that used this feature. They found it gave them more reliable intelligence on what customers hated about their competitors' products than traditional surveys did.
So for a creator, you could ask it something like, why do people unfollow virtual influencers?
Exactly. And it'll pull real customer feedback, the pain points, what feels inauthentic, which monetization strategies they hate, and it delivers it to you in a clean, presentation-ready format. Your strategy moves from an assumption to a fact.
And that insight leads perfectly into audience segmentation. We're so past the days of just targeting women aged 25-35.
Oh, absolutely. That's useless now. Perplexity helps you create these really nuanced audience segments. It's moving beyond demographics into psychographics, their values, their attitudes, their behaviors.
So for an AI model, that's the difference between a generic fitness model and a very specific, mindful, eco-conscious AI athlete that resonates with a very specific group.
Exactly. And it finds that group by analyzing huge amounts of social media conversations and engagement data. The sources cited a financial services company that analyzed conversations about retirement planning.
Okay.
And Perplexity revealed these completely distinct, often contradictory concerns between millennials and Gen X. This insight led them to create age-specific campaigns that got a 37% higher engagement rate.
37%? Wow, that's not an accident. That's precision targeting.
It is. And for an AI model creator, that translates directly to revenue. It means you can do a visual preference analysis to see what imagery appeals to different segments. You can learn that segment A responds to stories about vulnerability, while segment B wants stories about ambition.
So you tailor your ads and your content to match, and your campaign performance just skyrockets.
It's a dramatic boost.
Let's touch on the investment, though. How is the Pro plan justified?
The ROI is pretty clear from the sources. The time efficiency gains alone often justify it immediately. We're talking about reducing the time you spend on those repetitive, non-creative tasks, fact-checking, summarizing reports by 40% to 80%.
You're literally buying back your time.
You're buying time. And when you factor in the reduced risk of making a factual error, the ROI is immediate and it's scalable.
And for those who are thinking bigger about automating this, what about API access?
The API is crucial for that next level. It lets you build automated, custom workflows. If you want a system that automatically analyzes trending aesthetics on Twitter every morning and feeds that into your CMS, the API lets you wire Perplexity right into the core of your tech stack.
Okay, section 3. This is where the rubber meets the road for the creator, for the AI model builder. We're talking content strategy and, critically, prompt engineering.
Right. This is where Perplexity stops being just a research tool and becomes a true content partner. First, just on planning, it excels at topic discovery and content gap analysis.
Finding what your competitors are doing well that you aren't, or what the audience wants that nobody is giving them.
Exactly. It's a goldmine. The tool can generate structured outlines for you based on the top-performing content in your niche, which saves a ton of time. We saw that case study of a marketing agency for a sustainable fashion client.
Right, the 45% increase in traffic.
A 45% increase in organic traffic in 1 quarter. Just from the content calendar, Perplexity helped them build.
That's powerful. But let's really zero in on the AI model creator. Their needs are so specific. It's constant research into aesthetics, lore, prompts.
This is the unique utility right here. To create realistic human-like models that keep an audience engaged, you need constant, precise research into your inputs. You need to know which prompt modifiers are giving the highest photorealism right now, what lighting setups are trending.
And what ethical lines your competitors are crossing so you can stay away from them.
Exactly.
So how does it act as a true prompt engineering assistant? How does it go beyond just generating text?
Its value is refinement. It's grounding your prompts in external data. A creator might start with something simple, like photorealistic woman in a cafe, soft light,
Okay, a basic prompt.
a basic prompt. Perplexity can analyze that, run a quick search on current photorealism standards in digital art communities, and suggest a much more refined structure. It'll add modifiers like highly detailed volumetric lighting, shallow depth of field, 35mm lens effect, Kodak Portra 400 film grain.
So it's adding the technical language based on real photography and art principles.
Right. It refines your language to get the maximum quality from the diffusion model you're using.
Mhm.
Because at the end of the day, prompt engineering is just iterative research.
It's trying to find the magic words.
It is. And more strategically, you can use it to build out the entire personality and storyline, the lore, for your models. And the lore is what drives retention and monetization.
Let's break that down. How do I generate character lore that feels deep and not just superficial?
You leverage its ability to synthesize huge amounts of cultural data and narrative tropes. For example, a creator could prompt it, give me 3 distinct model personality archetypes based on softness, luxury, and confidence. For each, create a brief backstory involving a career transition and a core emotional vulnerability.
Wow. Okay, so in minutes, you have a blueprint of traits, voice styles, emotional arcs that gives the model a depth that makes it feel like a person.
Instantly. And for content scheduling, you can get even more detailed. Create a 7-day storyline arc for my model's Parisian staycation. Details 7 unique photo shoot concepts, associated captions, and 3 brand collaboration ideas that fit the theme.
That's basically using it as an instant creative director and strategic planner. It's generating the lore and the story arc you need to keep the audience hooked over time.
It accelerates that whole ideation phase. It makes sure your creative input is diverse, culturally relevant, and linked to current aesthetics. It means you can keep multiple AI models stocked with fresh, consistent content, which makes scaling from one model to an agency much more manageable.
And that flows right into workflow automation, where this becomes a seamless background assistant.
Right. The workflow steal here is using it to generate a complete 30-day posting calendar themes, captions, hooks, and then just dropping that directly into your scheduling system, like Notion or Google Docs.
So a creator wakes up, prompts Perplexity for the month's content based on yesterday's research, and the bulk of the scheduling work is just done.
It's done. And it doesn't just stop there. It also helps with follow-up content planning. After it answers a query, it often suggests related questions. That helps you explore the entire buyer journey and create content that answers multiple related questions at once.
And finally, on the content side, there's credibility. The fact-checking role seems paramount, especially when you're creating a digital person that needs to feel trustworthy.
It's your critical safeguard. The citation provision and live web searches are your primary defense against misinformation. It's foundational for building a brand your audience trusts, especially as platforms get stricter about AI disclosures.
The link sources let you instantly verify your claims. You can tell your audience, this is backed by the latest report from this source, and it just adds so much weight.
It does. But, and the sources stress this, human oversight is still vital, especially for critical legal or financial information related to your business. Perplexity gives you the data and the sources, but you, the creator, still provide the final ethical judgment and verification. Let's turn to scaling. Once the content engine is humming, how does Perplexity Pro help with the technical side of growth? I'm talking advanced SEO.
The world of SEO has changed so much. It's not about keyword stuffing anymore. It's about conversational and semantic optimization. And Perplexity's whole answer engine approach is perfectly aligned with that.
So it helps your content speak the same language as the search engine's own AI.
Exactly. It specifically helps with semantic markup optimization. That means structuring your content so it's easily understood not just by people, but by LLMs and these new vector-based search engines.
Okay, vector search. Unpack that for a creator. Why should they care?
Vector search goes beyond keywords. It understands content based on meaning and context, the relationship between ideas. Perplexity, because it's designed to synthesize meaning from multiple sources, understands these relationships. It guides you to structure your content with rich snippets and clear headers so you have a better chance of being surfaced as a comprehensive answer in these new AI-driven search results.
So it helps Google's AI see your content as a definitive source on a topic.
That's the goal. And for the writing itself, it emphasizes conversational query analysis. Instead of forcing an awkward phrase like best AI model aesthetic monetization, you structure your content around the real long-tail questions people are actually asking Siri or typing into a search box.
And Perplexity helps you find those questions in the first place.
It finds them in those niche forums where your audience is actually talking.
Yeah.
And just as importantly, it helps you with the technical foundation of your site. It can spot issues that are killing your rankings. Poor page speed, uncompressed images, missing sitemaps.
The boring stuff that nobody wants to do but is actually critical.
It's the low-hanging fruit for massive ranking improvements.
And beyond the technicals, how does it help a brand build deep expertise, this idea of topical authority?
Topical authority is how search engines decide you're the expert. You build it by creating these deep, interconnected clusters of related content. Perplexity helps you map those clusters. If your brand is luxury AI models, it helps you map out all the related topics. Ethical digital media, high fashion rendering, the history of couture and avatars, platform policies on digital goods.
So your content plan becomes a structured library of expertise, not just random posts.
Exactly. And one more thing on this. The sources note that Perplexity often ranks sites like Reddit and Quora highly in its own citations.
That's interesting. Why is that significant?
It shows you critical visibility paths that aren't just Google. If your target audience is super active in a niche subreddit, Perplexity helps you find the exact questions being discussed there, giving you an edge over brands that only use generic keyword research.
Finally, scaling means organization, especially for a creator managing multiple model identities. How does Perplexity Pro help with that?
Through threads and collections. Research gets messy. Perplexity lets you structure your research into threads that maintain context, so you don't lose track of your work. And you can share them with a team.
And the Pro version has something even more robust.
Yes. Collections. This is essential if you're managing multiple clients, or in this case, multiple AI models. All the research for Model A's staycation arc goes in one collection. All the competitive analysis for Model B goes in another. It prevents redundant work and keeps everything consistent.
And of course, for true scalability, it all comes back to that API access, letting you wire this intelligence directly into your other tools.
And that really brings us to the core of this deep dive. It's a fundamental shift in how creators need to approach building a business, especially an AI model brand where authenticity and relevance are everything.
So we covered content strategy, using that real-time data for ideation and gap analysis. We covered advanced SEO, focusing on semantic search, comprehensive market research, turning weeks into hours,
And audience personalization, building those sophisticated psychographic profiles, and of course fact verification to build that non-negotiable audience trust.
The unique value here, and we really can't overstate this, is Perplexity's ability to provide real-time cited data by default.
It gives your content, your digital models, your entire brand a solid, defensible foundation that other generative tools just can't guarantee.
Which leads to the essential mindset shift. These AI tools, they aren't here to replace you. They are assistants and multipliers.
Exactly. Your human creativity, your strategic thinking, your ethical judgment, that's all still paramount. Perplexity just handles the exhaustive, time-consuming research for you.
That multiplication factor is real. It's what allows one creator to run multiple channels, an Instagram, a blog, an AI model brand 5 times faster than they could before, without the burnout from endless manual research.
It's a brain assistant.
It is. So we'll leave you with this final provocative thought for your own content strategy. If the future of search, of content, and of consumer trust is all based on transparent sourcing, and Perplexity's core function is to give you the receipts for every claim you make, what's the competitive lifespan of content that can't provide its own verifiable backing? Something to think about as you build your own digital empire.